Give us knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and counsel. Give us piety.
Good morning. We are Saturday, June 27. It is almost natural, following the destruction of Jerusalem and the deportation to Babylon, as we read in the first reading of the previous days, that today we hear the lamentations over the lost treasure of the Jewish tradition. Cry out to the Lord, daughter of Zion. Lament and let tears stream like a torrent. This passage is filled with compassion and grief because the city of God has been destroyed and his dwelling place profaned. After the healing of the leper in the gospel of yesterday, we now hear the story of the centurion who is pleading for the healing of his servant. The scene is in Capernaum, and Matthew described the encounter with Jesus as the script of a filmmaker. Take up your camera and follow the action. First scene. The centurion comes to meet with Jesus and makes his plea in favor of his servant who is sick. Very quickly, Jesus accepts to come and heal him. Turn your camera now to the next scene. The centurion calls on Jesus, showing how deep he trusts him. Do not bother come to my house. I am not worthy to receive you. You can heal my servant at distance, because I, who do not have your authority, give orders to my soldiers, and they obey my commands. So much more can you give order to that my servant get well. Scene number 3. The camera is now on Jesus this time, who looks at the crowd who had followed him down the mountain. He tells them how astonished he is to see such a faith in the heart of a pagan who knows so little about him, while those who have acknowledged what he has said and done have a superficial faith in him. In the next scene, the camera follows the eyes of Jesus turned to the distant lands, seeing people from far, welcoming the good news and coming to the festive table of Abraham, while those whom he had been sent to, the heirs of the prophets, are not willing to join because they have not recognized that the Savior was in their midst. The last to call become first, and those who were called first become last. The curtain falls on the last scene. The faith of the centurion has won the healing of his servant in that very hour and at distance. Matthew writes his gospel some 50 years after the ministry of Jesus along the Sea of Galilee. He has in front of him a mixed community made out of Jews who have believed in Jesus, too few actually, and a large portion of Gentiles who have welcomed the good news. The heirs of the promise, the people of the covenant, have not recognized the moment of grace when God sent a Savior to Israel, while those pagans did. Let us take example on the faith of the centurion. And when the horizon is cloudy, when our future is bleak, when we do not see the end of this pandemic, let us turn to the Lord with faith and trust. He will not let us down. He is our shield and our Savior.
Understanding and counsel.